In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists. Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
I watched a film a couple days ago, and I really felt like your performance was one of the probably strongest in the film and most kind of captivating. But I also don't know if that's because I'm a woman, and I was just like, this is so interesting to watch. You navigate this experience. And it made me think about other roles you've portrayed in the past, and I was wondering, it's easy for us to sit back and say, oh, there's kind of a through line of the different roles that you've played, but when you approach each new job, do you think about the roles you've done and kind of how they fit into a canon of your career?
No, I think that you're sort of making choices like moment by moment about what moves you right now, what you want to explore right now, what would feel new. I really think that, like if you've done it before, it's not that interesting. I think that you're always trying to find something that maybe expands on what you've done in the past, but will push you in a new direction.
For this, obviously one of the kind of interesting pivotal moments is when you're dancing in front of the headlights, and I thought it was so interesting to see the way the different characters respond, particularly the daughter that gets very protective. I thought that was such an interesting dynamic, and I was wondering, that scene is quite vulnerable. Was there any feeling of that for you going into it?
You know, I think like the entire thing, you know, the whole thing is like a very vulnerable business, to be honest. You know, you're really kind of offering yourself up for people to decide what they think. And so because it is also, you know, you really use everything that you have as an actor. It's a physical job, it's an emotional job, and you are sort of constantly bringing everything that you can to bear on like whatever role you're playing. So it's an incredibly vulnerable business.
Was there any kind of added pressure or feelings, because there's kind of a vein of truth right through this film of Steven Spielberg's life? Did that make things more interesting or difficult or complicated for you?
No, I think like pure and gorgeous, you know, that this man has chosen at this moment in his life to open up his heart, you know, to us, the actors that are playing his family, but also like to a larger audience. I mean, talk about vulnerability.
Yeah, that's true. It was really interesting. I'm Jewish myself, and to see the progression of alienation as they move across the country was so interesting to me, because moving from New York City to London was such a culture shock.
Yeah, I'm sure.
As a Jewish person, I was like, oh my God, where are all
Where
the
are we?
Jews? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting you say that is a kind of vulnerable place to be. I was interested in the kind of moments where you're keeping secrets that other people in the cast obviously know because you've read the script. How does that dynamic work when you know that you have to play withholding something?
Well, I think it's always a question of, you know, how honest is the character being with themselves? How much are they experiencing the dichotomy between their internal truth and their external reality? So that's a really interesting tension to work with. But you know, this thing was just so beautifully written. It's Steven Spielberg working with Tony Kushner, you know, longtime collaborators. And so that, you know, that balance, that tension, like that is all in the script. That is all in the writing, and these incredibly gorgeous scenes with this like once in a lifetime dialogue. So, you know, they made that for all of us.